This one, this just caught my eye. I didn't even see this last night, and I went through this with a fine-tooth comb. In another life, I was a marketer. And part of my marketing education and training, which is I worked with business owners of varying sizes, you know, going from like people who are trying to just make a few $1,000s a month to people who are making six figures a month and continuing to try to grow and scale up. And the purpose, the work that I did was to basically work with them on how do you build a community that you sell to on a consistent basis. This is going to tie in, I promise. How do you keep them engaged? How do you keep them excited, right? Because if you don't do those things, then your customer base goes away and then you don't sell things and then you don't make money, right? So the central focal point was how do you build community and disseminate information to your community online? Because while you were also trying to engage with them and make sure that they still know who you are and they still care and they still want to, you know, you're also trying to let them know, I have this product for sale. I have that product for sale. I have whatever for sale, right? Syra has a boutique. She actually, it's really funny because Syra's boutique has because she knows she's an expert at this point. She's actually been able to scale up, down, however she kind of decides she wants to spend her effort or energy at any given point in time. Because once you learn how to leverage the tools of communication and community, you get to decide how you want to use them and what results you want to get out of them, right? So now it's just a tool. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, there is an insane amount of information that goes through research administrative offices every day. And so if you think about it, you have let's say you have 30 RAs in your organization, right? Or you might have 7, right? But let's say you have a lot, and they need to know this information, and they all need to know this information all the time, right? So everyone needs to know about, say, purchasing changes or some compliance changes, but they may not need to know other things. Now they're getting 800 emails every day. Here's from the IT office, and here's from your software office, and here's from your Huron office, and there's all these emails, and all of them are about these various activities that they need to know about, right? And so that is how email fatigue happens, because there's so much email, so much stuff coming in, right? And one of the things that has been very, very successful in every organization that I've worked at, and I always implement it right away, is 2 things. One is the, whoa, that's not the one. Whoa, that is not the one. One of them is office hours. So I always institute office hours in any organization that I've worked at as a trainer. Now, what I do instead is I actually have a Patreon where I do office hours regularly for free, just because I think it's such a valuable tool that I do it on Tuesdays at 11. In order to participate, you need to sign up for the Patreon, but you are more than welcome, if you're a research administrator, to come attend office hours, where basically any RA can come and ask any question related to research administration, and we'll talk about it, right? Whatever it is. Hey, I have this problem. What do you think? Hey, I have a reconciliation, or I've run into this. Who do I talk to about this? I'm looking for a career change. Whatever it is, we have actually a lot of different things that we talk about in there. And sometimes people come just to listen, but ultimately office hours is number 1. And number 2 is the newsletter. Okay. So the newsletter, and this is something I'm still trying to actually figure out how to implement in my current situation, but because the truth of the matter is I actually think it has more value within an organization. Whereas I think office hours is one of those things that I actually think it has value extramurally, where you have a lot of people from different organizations in office hours talking about things. For a newsletter, I actually think it's more important to have one in your organization that's for the organization's research administrators. This is probably one of the more valuable tools that you will learn, is how to leverage newsletters to get information to your staff. But more importantly than that, how to leverage it to be able to build engagement, to build relationships, and to build enthusiasm, and to create a feeling of safety. So here's something, and this is something that a lot of people don't know about newsletters. When you send out a regular newsletter and it's well crafted, what ends up happening is that you create a feeling of safety in your staff, that they now feel like they're not going to miss anything because you've got their back. Even if you're doing nothing other than consolidating 30 emails and putting it into a single email for them to say, here you go, store this in your admin box and come back to it. Just the fact that someone is doing that for them and making sure that these things are happening gives people the confidence that, okay, if I forget something, I always know where to go to ask the question, or I always have these newsletters to go back to. And simply providing that also gives them then that feeling of safety that we talked about earlier, right? Where I've got this, right? And just that feeling in and of itself makes it so much easier to do your day-to-day job, right? Than, say, for example, if you're feeling anxious all the time or you're worried about missing something or what have you, okay? So this is when I just happened to, like, totally got distracted, ADHD there, but that's it. That is what it is. Okay. So next up, okay. Oh, I think this is the one that I thought it was. Okay.